Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Lantern Festival is around the corner, so today we're gonna make the famous traditional Lantern Festival dessert, the sesame flavor sticky rice ball. And as usual, I'm gonna lead you through this process step by step and explain to you what exactly does each step do. By truly understanding these process, it is less likely that you will fail during the process. Check it out. Hi new friend, this is Erica right here. I'm a Taiwanese citizen, currently living in America. Cooking and traveling are my passion, so I'm here to share with you my favorite Asian recipes. I make kitchen trivia shorts and Asian home cooking recipe on this channel, so if that interests you, please subscribe and keep watching. This Sunday is a traditional Chinese holiday, the Lantern Festival. The Lantern Festival is on the January 15th of the lunar calendar, and it marks the end of the celebration of the Chinese New Year. On this special holiday, we'll visit the festive of Lantern, guess in the lantern riddles, and eat Tang Yuan or Yuanxiao, aka the sticky rice ball. And there are two types of Tang Yuan, one with stuffing, which is the one that we're making today, and one without. We have made a Tang Yuan without stuffing last year, and here's a link for you. It is a very special flavor that we make with the strawberry juice. And now you might wonder, if there's two types of Tang Yuan, then what is Yuanxiao? Yuanxiao is very similar to the Tang Yuan with stuffing, but there's a big difference of how it is made. Tang Yuan is made with the sticky rice ball dough wrapping a stuffing inside, and Yuanxiao is using the wet stuffing, roll on a tray covered with rice flour, and roll it into a rice ball. Kind of like how you roll up a snowball in cartoons. So to tell the difference of Yuanxiao and Tang Yuan, the super smooth and round shaped ones are normally Tang Yuan, and Yuanxiao usually have a more uneven and powdery surface. Tang Yuan has a well-kneaded skin, so it is more sticky and bouncy, while Yuanxiao are more chewy. Yuanxiao will have to be eaten right after making because of how it is made. It is really easy to crack in the freezer. So today I'm going to teach you how to make Tang Yuan, the one that you can keep it in the freezer and eat it whenever you want. Since it is made with the glutinous rice flour but not normal flour, there's still a possibility for your Tang Yuan to crack during the freezing process. So today, besides teaching you how to make them and cook them, I'm also going to teach you a little trick to fix the crack up Tang Yuan if that ever happens to you. So without further ado, screenshot! Here's the ingredient that we'll need for today's recipe. For the stuffing, we'll need some roasted black sesame seeds, sugar, nuts, water, and butter. And for the sticky rice ball wrapping, we'll need some glutinous rice flour, make sure it's glutinous, boiled water, and some room temperature water. With the recipe I gave you today, you can make 25 sesame sticky rice balls. And first things first, let's make our stuffings. The sesame stuffing is this thick but liquidy consistency with a shiny black color. The black you see in the stuffing is obviously the sesame seeds, but with only sesame seeds, the flavor is a little bit plain. So in order to add in layers of flavor, we normally add in some nuts inside. You can use any nuts you prefer. But today I'm using a mixture of the almond, walnut, pumpkin seeds, hazelnuts, as well as pecan. Put them into a blender with the sesame seeds as well as sugar and blend them into a paste. This will work way better with a food processor, but I don't own one, so a normal blender will do as well. With all the nut oil, you can see that the pastes are all stuck on the side. You'll need to add in some water and do it a few times to make it blend well together. Now, use a spatula to scrape them out, and then you can add in your melted butter. Gently mix them well together until you reach this consistency, thick but liquidy, dark black but shiny. And then get a tray or mold, cover it up with a plastic wrap to prevent sticking, and pour in your paste. And when that's done, cover up the top of the paste gently. Make sure there's no plastic wrap stuck inside the paste, so later it will be easier to peel off, and put it into the freezer for 2 hours. When the time is up, we'll take them out of the freezer and cut them into 10 grams a piece and roll them into round ball as well. The ingredient I gave you will be perfect for 25 stuffings, and because of the stuffing is super sticky, instead of weighing them out one by one will create a mess, you can just use a ruler and cut it into 5 times 5, which is 25 pieces of stuffing. The butter melts super fast, so it is very sticky, but don't worry about it because after you're done rolling, we'll cover it up and put it back in the freezer. The freezer will freeze it again and make it easier to wrap up later. Now let's make our sticky rice ball. Get a mixing bowl and add in your glutinous rice flour. And then you want to add in the boiled water. Mix them in well until you can see no water left, and then add in your room temperature water. Adding boiled water to the glutinous rice flour can create a softer texture, higher success rate, and is less likely to crack while cooking. If you have a machine, you can use all hot water, but since we're kneading it with our hand, we'll add in room temperature water after to lower the temperature. Now, it might seem dry with such small amount of water added, but just use your hand to start kneading them and you'll see how this amount of water is more than enough. In the beginning, the dough is super sticky. Don't worry, over time it will start to turn smooth and stick off the excess flour on your hand. When the dough starts to feel too soft and sticky, you can go wash off your hand and add some glutinous rice flour on your hand and keep kneading. With added flour on your hand, the whole process becomes way easier. And now the dough is smooth and not sticky anymore. Cover it up with a plastic wrap to keep the moist in, and let it rest for 30 minutes. The resting process will allow the rice flour to absorb all the water you add in and make it more even. Now when the time is up, roll them into a thick line and cut it into 3. Keep 2 of them covered so the moisture won't evaporate, and we'll work on them one at a time. Roll out the dough into a long line and cut them into 15 grams a piece. Roll them into a round bowl and place it on a tray and cover it up again. Now all our rice ball is done and the stuffing is frozen again, we can start wrapping. Get a rice ball and pat it flat. You want the center to be thinner than the ring, so we have excess dough on the side to cover up the top. Pick up a sesame stuffing with the chopsticks and put it into the center. And close it up with your thumb and 4 fingers, then roll it upwards like this to close up the top. Don't use your hand to pick up the stuffing because it is too sticky and greasy. We want our rice ball to be clean and white on the surface. If you touch the sesame seeds, you're gonna dirty your ball. Sorry that my camera refused to focus today, but you can still see how it's done, right? Now when they're all done, we have to put it into the fridge for around 30 minutes before you put it into the freezer because too big of a temperature change is gonna crack the rice ball. To cook a sticky rice ball properly to avoid breakage, we have to be very specific with the temperature of the water. The best temperature water is between 70 to 80 Celsius, which is around 160 to 180 Fahrenheit. Because if you add in your rice ball into cold water and wait till it to heat up, the cooking process will be dragged too long and the rice ball will become smushy. Although if you drop in your rice ball in boiling water, the instant temperature change will just suddenly crack the surface, with the result of the empty sticky rice ball. If you own a thermometer, that will be the best, but if not, just wait till you see the little bubble on the bottom and the side of the pot. The temperature will be about right. Now, drop in your rice ball and use a spoon to push on the water to create some flow. Doing this can prevent this rice ball from sticking to the bottom. You should never let the rice ball set in the water, even with a non-stick pot. When you start to see the water start boiling up, add in some cold water to cool down the temperature, and we'll do this twice. Just like cooking a dumplings, adding water during the cooking process can not only lower the temperature of the water, but also shock the dough a little bit and make it more chewy. And when you see the rice ball all flow up on the top of the water, it's done! You can scoop them out and eat it as is, or drop it in some sweet red bean soup that we made last year. Again, we have a link up here. The sesame stuffing are liquidy and sweet. You can taste the nuts that we add in, as well as plus the roasted sesame seeds. Now here are some frozen sticky rice balls that I made the other day, and you can see that some of them are a little cracked. If you cook a cracked sticky rice ball, I guarantee you will lose all of the stuffing and only left with the skin. But throwing them away is also super wasteful, so here's a little trick that you can do to fix up these cracks. It is basically how we make the Yuanxiao that we talked about earlier. Just get a plate and pour some glutinous rice flour on, spray or dip the cracked side of the rice ball with water, and start rolling it on the plate. Depends on how big is the crack. Repeat this step for 2 to 3 times. You should be good. But if the crack is a little bit bigger, you can do a few more times if you want. But remember, the more you do it, the thicker the skin's going to be. I really like the rice ball anyways, so I don't mind it to be thick. But just like anything else, don't overdo it. Super simple, right? Now at the end of the video, we bring back the word of the day. So the word of the day today is Tang Yuan, sticky rice ball dessert. Tang Yuan. Thank you for cooking with me to the end. Let me know if you like this recipe by giving this video a thumbs up. It's only gonna take you a second, but it's gonna help my channel a lot. I make video on YouTube every Monday and Thursday, so remember to hit that bell and you'll never miss out. Last but not least, don't forget to subscribe on my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!